Welcome to the Whiska Chicks podcast, where Amy and Suzie are two sisters that banter about random, relatable topics. What is a Whiska Chick? Well, it's a term our beloved Nana used for anything random, so instead of saying thingamajig or doodad, she would say Whiska Chick. We are here to have fun, a lot of laughs, and to spread joy and mindfulness. Give a listen. You may learn something or have an aha moment or two. We dedicate this creative endeavor to our Nana, whose most powerful saying was, "Be true to yourself." Well, hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Whiska Chicks podcast. I'm Suzie.
And I'm Amy.
And yes, it's been hot minutes again since you've heard from us because life happened.
We're so inconsistent.
We are. We're consistent about being inconsistent, but it's more like, do we want to record today? I don't feel like it.
Well, being that, Suzie and I have talked about how sensitive we are. And it's like, if the energy's not right, it's very difficult to hop in. And we tend to put off recording until we're both in a good space. So,
well, yeah, because as we've stated, we're not reading a script here.
No,
we're scripting.
We are shooting out of our rears. And speaking of shooting out of our rears, guess what we're going to talk about today?
Well, once in a while, intermittently, if we have a topic previously that was like kind of heavy or had a lot going on, we like to lighten it up with a bodily function or something funny in the world. And today we're going to talk about I can't even say it. Farting. We're going to talk about toots.
Fart-Etiquette.
Fart-Etiquette or Fart-Etiquette.
Fart-Etiquette. We're trying to figure out we're trying to make it a real word, like Fart-Etiquette.
Well, we have all these episodes about being mindful about like driving, shopping in a grocery store, using a public bathroom. So now we're going to just talk about, some fart etiquette and scenarios that we're probably all been familiar with in some way or another, because everybody farts.
That's right. And either this episode is going to make you laugh your ass off or you're going to turn us off. So it just depends on what kind of a mentality you have.
You're either going to laugh until you fart or you're going to turn us off.
But believe it or not, these episodes where we kind of go off the rails with bodily functions and bathrooms and stuff like that are the most popular. So
they are. They are. Case in point, the hemorrhoids have spirit meaning too. That's one of our most popular.
No pun intended.
There's going to be some wheezing today, also, just so you know.
Maybe some snorting, too. I've been snorting more as I've gotten older when I laugh.
You snort away. But I thought it would be fun to I've got some things I pulled off the World Wide Web about different fart things, and we'll talk more. But anyway.
Fart facts.
Yeah, fart fun facts.
Fun fart facts. It's an FFF.
Fun fart facts. So, farting, or as it also could be known as flatulence,
that's the medical term,
passing gas, is as old as humanity. And P.S., like the animals fart too. Obviously, you've heard animals fart. But anyway, so farting is a biological function resulting from swallowed air and microbes breaking down food in the gut.
Yep.
And I know as a dietitian, Amy, you can attest to the fact that if your toots are, as I like to say, all bark and no bite, that's a good sign. But if you clear the room, you might need to investigate some things going into your yap.
Yeah, or maybe you have an infection. Sometimes or if you've been on antibiotics, there's all kinds of things that might give you really strange, smelly farts.
Yeah, sorry, the stuff I found was funny, so I think it's fun to talk about. So the first recorded fart joke was documented back in 1900 BCE. I don't even know what that means.
Before Christ. Let me look it up real quick.
BCE. I don't know. It pokes fun at like the sounds that comes out of someone's butt or whatever. What,
Just
you got
real
it?
quick.
Yeah.
BCE stands for Before Common Era, and I knew. I now that I'm
never
reading
even
this, I
heard of that.
recognize it. Yeah, which is a secular term used as an alternative to BC, which is before Christ. It is used to denote the years before the start of the Common Era, which begins with year 1 in the Gregorian calendar.
Oh.
So that's BCE. So this fart stuff goes way back.
It's older than Jesus.
Yeah, that's right.
I'll bet Jesus farted. Anyway, ancient Egyptian medical texts and the famous Greek physician Hippocrates viewed, as they called it, passing wind as a healthy, natural, and essential release for internal digestive balance. Because if you hold in a toot, that's bad.
It is actually.
You got to let it, which we're about to get into about knowing when to
let it out.
Yeah, if you're not in the privacy, sometimes you can't help it though. Anyway, in medieval times in the 12th century, King Henry II of England actually employed a court entertainer named Roland the Farter, whose highly valued specialized act consisted of one jump, one whistle, and one fart.
That's talent.
Anyway, and then they had like manuscripts and stuff that like portrayed like people farting. They called it flatulence, but they're English. But can you imagine that? I'm here for the show. You get one jump, one whistle, and one, and then that's all I have to do.
What a way to make a living,
right? Here's a few more.
I want that job.
I know, right? I don't speak French, but in 1892, Joseph Pujol, I think is how you say his name, he was a famous French performer at the Moulin Rouge, developed absolute control over his abdominal muscles to inhale and release air through his anus. He performed musical acts and blew out candles from a distance with his flatulence.
Again, what talent.
That's a party trick. Okay.
A serious party trick.
And here as we're recording this on the 3rd of July.
Speaking of farting and fireworks and party tricks.
But speaking of founding fathers, farting founding fathers, Benjamin Franklin in 1781 wrote an essay titled Fart Proudly, advocating for scientific research to make flatulence odorless through diet, arguing that passing gas is a harmless bodily function that should not carry a social stigma. I bet they were letting go of some farts in those rooms with all those wigs and wool suits and whatever they were wearing.
Well, and think about what women wore too. I mean, it's like a Dutch oven in one of those things.
Oh my God!
They'd probably probably let one go in their petticoats and bloomers, and it would just stay there.
You imagine, like, they go back to their chamber and the maid's like undressing them, and then the fart gets let go finally from its
whoosh.
Yeah,
like,
oh man, that was bad. Or like they take the corset off and they probably everything falls open. But I mean, anyway.
It's funny because my dietitian friends that are listening, flatulence is so important when you're working in the hospital, especially if someone has been through surgery, they're in the ICU or whatever. It's our signal to feed the patient. A lot of times doctors will just, they'll listen, and if there are bowel sounds, like if their gut is awake and gurgling, they're like, okay, ready to feed the patient. We're like, dietitians will say, no, we need to have flatulence. As soon as the patient starts to fart, we know their gut is awake and we can feed them, whether it's tube feeding or orally or whatever. So for us, it's working in critical care, especially, it's super important because that means the body is awake, perfusing and functioning, and now we can introduce nutrition into the gut. So flatulence we laugh at it and it stinks and this and that, and there's so much around it, but it's critical. It's really important.
That brings new meaning to feed a cold, starve a fever. Feed a fart.
Well, you know where that came from, sidebar. But when you have a fever, again, in the hospital, if the patient's what we call febrile or has a fever, we have to increase the calories by every so many degrees above a normal temperature. So it really is feed a fever. You need more calories when you have a fever because your body's working overtime. It's starve a cold, feed a fever.
I can attest to that because the first time I had a major abdominal surgery when I was 21, living in Boston, and I was in the hospital for a week. And one of the reasons I was there so long is because despite the laps I was taking around the nurse's station with my everything I was wired to, I could not fart or I couldn't poop. But the first time I did it in front of the nurse, and I was like, oh man, it reminded me of Nana, who of course is the OG Whiska chick, when, she used to let out a toot and be like, I shot two
Indians with that
one, even though it's not PC to say, but like, it made me want to look at the nurse and say that, like. But that's all normal to them. But anyway, so yes, farting is essential for your health. It's good for you to let those out. It's like sneezing. Like when I sneeze, I'm like, I don't do that. I'm like,
I blow your brains out your ears.
I give it to the world. But there are times in social situations where the universe is upstairs just like guiding you, and it's like, you know what? You're getting gas tonight, and let's see how you deal with it. And then you're jockeyed in a position of like, okay, well, how am I going to do this? So now there are people that you could be around. Like if Amy and I were hanging out, we would be like trying to out fart each other. Like it's like healthy competition that way.
But I never force a fart. I don't force one.
No, because we don't hold them in.
Fart, something else might happen, which we'll talk about. So
yeah, but we don't hold the farts in. Is my point? It's like it's like the shock value, like letting one out. And you're like, it's like, don't you think it's funny when like someone farts and then you're like, did you just fart? And I'm like, what did you think it was? What did you think it was? An angel getting their wings? Like, yes, I farted.
And farts are amazing, right? Because they're like snowflakes. It's like there's no two are ever alike. They're all different.
So I thought, just to spark conversation here, it would be fun. I found different classifications of farts.
All right.
So this made me laugh. The scent-free puff. And it says, often accidental, these brief releases have no smell and usually result from chewing gum, sipping carbonated drinks, or eating too fast.
Just air. Yeah.
Yeah, just a little.
Sucking air.
Yeah, sometimes, sometimes you let one go and you can't hear it. And you're like, oh, good, no one heard it. I'm like, doesn't mean they won't know another way that you just tooted.
It's either silent or silent but deadly.
Right, which is on my list. And so the next classification was fart clusters, which are multiple smaller releases over a few hours, usually triggered by fermentable fibers and prebiotics like beans, lentils, and asparagus. So that's when you eat something and like hours later you're like, and then a few minutes later you're like, and you're like, God, what did I eat? It's like, well, there you go. That's what happened. So I would just eat beans with friends and family unless you're going to be alone later.
Fart with friends.
Yeah, fart safe with your friends. They'll have your back. Okay, Amy, sorry, you're going to laugh right now. The next one is the hot fart. Oh, God. The burning sensation caused by the gases released, frequently associated with food intolerances, like lactose or spicy dishes.
Which also creates ring of fire.
Right. With the other thing that comes, the fart's the appetizer, the main dish is the fire. Oh my God. And then the last one I have is this one is the wet fart. And that occurs when liquid or stool mixes with the gas being expelled, which some people might want to call sharding.
Shart.
Oh my God. I have to take my glasses off because my eyes are watering.
I know mine are fogging up. The air conditioning's on, the heat from my face is making my glasses fog.
Oh my God. We knew this was going to happen. But anyway, so talking about social situations where you've got some gas and you need to let it go. We've all been somewhere, like you're at the grocery store and you're reaching for a can of beans. We'll just use that as a reference. And someone has blown the place up with a toot. And not only that, they moved around. So we call that crop dusting, right?
Well, yeah. And isn't crop dusting like the person, it's still like going poop, 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 poop. They're walking and farting at the same time.
They're like, literally, totally. I used to do that when I worked at a grocery store because I thought it would be fun. I mean, sometimes I would come into the department where I worked and I'd be like, I literally just farted from the break room all the way over here, just intermittently, like just left a trail for.
Sometimes I do that at Disneyland.
Right?
To make everybody's visit more magical.
That's right. You call that fairy dust, don't you?
Fairy dusting. That's right.
Fairy gas. But
Tinkerbell Toots.
Amy and I are both in our 50s, and farting now for me, it gets different with age, I have to tell you, and I don't know if that's because things become a little looser in places. I find myself oftentimes like feeling like I have to fart, and then I'm like, oh, I can't do that with confidence. I would be more comfortable if I was sitting on the porcelain throne, letting it out. Oh, we're getting personal here. This is amazing.
Yeah, really.
But there are some social things. It's like, sometimes I'll be in public and I'm like, wow, who did that? Who did that? I look over and it's like this elderly woman. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Not going to get
mad
at you.
And in some cases, it's cultural. There are some cultures that it's just natural. There's no qualms. They belch, they fart, they just let it out because it's a social norm. So
I need to go live there. I mean, I really do.
Back to Ben Franklin's point.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, farting is a great way, and anything that comes out of your butt, fart, poop, whatever, is literally telling the internal story of what's going on with your health.
Absolutely.
So if your farts are frequent and not fragrant, that's not a bad thing. That's just your gut doing its job. But if they're like clearing public events and social spaces, you might want to buy a new probiotic or eat some fermented foods.
Or, like in my case, you have to know what you tolerate too. I looked this up once, but chicory root and inulin is a prebiotic fiber, meaning it's food for the gut bacteria, the probiotics. It's in freaking everything now. And just like having the gene to make your pee stink when you eat asparagus, because not everybody's pee stinks when they eat asparagus. It depends on your genetics. There is a genetic incapability to digest chicory root and inulin, that particular prebiotic fiber. So I happen to be one of those people, and you only know about it by trial and error. It's like, I remember when we were up there visiting you. I was eating this oatmeal that was full of chicory root and inulin. And I didn't know it. I was a mess. I could not.
I remember that.
Stop.
I'm
surprised you didn't leave me by the side of the road. It was bad because we were driving in the car a lot. But if I didn't let it out, my belly was going to explode. It was so bad. And so the moment I stopped the oatmeal, nothing. So through trial and error, I have the gene that does not tolerate that particular fiber. So if in fact you're having severe belly issues, don't go out and spend a lot of money. Just kind of take a look at the fibers you're eating, and you have to read labels because companies are totally taking advantage of this whole probiotic thing, like constantly, and trying to get you to spend money. And just because something has a prebiotic in it doesn't make it all that much better for you, especially if you eat bananas, oatmeal, asparagus, if you eat naturally prebiotic foods, you don't need it extra in the food in like packaged things. So anyway, if you're having horrible bloating and bad stinky farts, take a look at the fibers you're eating, like the prebiotic fibers.
Well, and also just another sidebar, like anything you take, like a probiotic or vitamin D or whatever, zinc, blah blah blah. They're called supplements for a reason. They're supposed to be supplementing your air quote healthy balanced diet. I mean,
Yeah.
what did humans do before you could buy probiotics? They ate the shit that balanced the gut naturally.
Right. They ate weeds and wheat and
They were foraging and farting. That's what they did.
everything starts with an F.
It does, but that's okay. We're not mad about that. But
No.
But anyway, farting is something that you have to constantly make a judgment call on, not only for yourself, but the people around you.
Yeah.
And I always find that sometimes because I do grocery shopping for people, that's one of the jobs I do, I find myself like, I'll let this fart where the fart comes out, but it doesn't leave the cheeks. And like I squeeze and it's like this snap.
There's I stepped on a duck.
Yeah. That was my trick knee popping or whatever. So I'm gonna tell the story. So you need to hold it together. A funny story
Okay,
about Amy.
I'll try.
Are you okay? Are you okay if I tell this story?
Okay. Now I know what's coming.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
You're
Why
okay.
not?
Your friends are gonna laugh because it's really something to be shared. So anyway, I'm gonna try to tell this because Amy she won't make it through half of it. But okay, so I think it was Christmas before last. Amy and I went to one of the most iconic buildings in Portland, Oregon. It's the Arlene Schnitzer Concert Hall. It's one of the oldest buildings in Portland, Art Deco, beautiful building. Yeah. And we went to see
AKA the Schnitz.
The Schnitz. They call it the Schnitz, yeah. We went to see the holiday concert with the Oregon Symphony, and there was a choir. It was fantastic. We went and had a nice Mediterranean dinner before and all that.
Lentils.
And so concert was great. Whatever. We're going to leave, and of course, being us, we're like, we should pee before we go. And so we're in this long line to get into the bathroom. And I'm not really paying too much attention to what's going on with Amy because the woman behind me, complete stranger, I'm someone that was blessed with a gift where people just random strangers tell me things that really they shouldn't be telling anybody but someone that's like really close to them. But she was telling me about her acid reflux and her hiatal hernia operation and all this stuff. And I'm just waiting for the bathroom. So I didn't really pay attention to what Amy was doing. And then I turned around and saw, it was my time to, a stall open. There's a lot of stalls. It was like one row of like a lot of stalls. And so I go in and I'm sitting on the toilet peeing. And whoever's in the stall next to me is just like farting a lot. So,
and you know what kind of acoustics a toilet will provide.
Yeah. And so I come out of the stall and Amy's already like washing her hands. I was like, God, I don't know who was in the stall next to me, but they were farting. It was Amy. Amy was the phantom farter. And so Amy and I walk out and we're in this beautiful building and everyone's like blah, 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 milling around and it's Christmas time and there's this like big grand staircase that goes down to like exit the building and we can't even get down the stairs because we're having like a cardiac arrest, wheezing and laughing. And like everybody's looking at us. We're laughing so hard it's like echoing throughout the lobby. And people
thought we were drunk. They were serving wine there, but all we had was water.
People were looking at us like we were just completely like, are they all right? And that made it even funnier. But
we couldn't get down the stairs. We were like mid stairway. We're like in the middle of the stairway, trying to move down one foot after the other. We were laughing so hard we couldn't function.
Everyone's like, dude, oh, what a great concert. And Amy and I are just like, and I'm like, we were a meme. We were totally a meme that night. But anyway, it made for a really wonderful story. It's like one of those things like, God, someone in the stall next to me really was going, oh, that was me.
I know it was me you heard, because when you came into the stall, I saw your shoes. I knew you were right next
it was you.
Me. I knew you were right next to me. So when you told me about it, I'm like, well, that was me.
You felt safe because you saw my shoes. No,
I was going to let it out regardless. But and plus it was so crowded. I'm like, who's going to know? That's going back to kind of fart etiquette. It's like, if you're in a huge crowd and you got to let one go, just kind of keep moving. No one's going to know who it was.
But yeah, I mean, yeah, that was funny. That was probably one of the top 5 funniest moments of being sisters.
Totally.
But
totally.
Being in a public bathroom and peeing, sometimes the toots just creep out.
Well, and it's healthy to let them go. Honestly, it's not healthy to hold them in. I mean, there might be certain circumstances where it might be more polite to kind of, if you can excuse yourself or step outside or whatever, it's always a good idea. We have fun and we're cracking up and we're talking about a silly subject, but we always kind of try to tie it back to mindfulness, right? And it's the same as bathroom, cleaning up after yourself at a toilet or whatever. If you're in a public place, if you're with a group and you have the option to walk away for a moment, deliver the package, and then come back, it's unless you got kind of like a what's the kid's name from Peanuts? The kid
Pigpen?
Pigpen, unless you got a Pigpen situation where it just kind of follows you as you go. Pigpen had that little dust.
He crop dusted all the time.
He had his like little, what's it called? Dust bunny thing that
always was a dust cloud. Him. Like dust a dust cloud.
It always followed him. Because sometimes it follows you. It stays with you. I think it's important to let it go, not to hold it. If you've got the opportunity to excuse yourself, do it. But just know that, I don't know what it is about farting, but I've always found it to be extremely funny. And if I hear one in public or if I smell one, I start laughing. I can't help it. I just, maybe I need to be mindful and not embarrass the person, but I can't hold it in. To me, it's funny. I don't know why, but anyway, it's probably something Freudian in that, but I have no idea.
Well, opposite to what you're saying about like the courtesy fart, I have what I like to call the karmic fart, where if someone in my airspace has like done me wrong, I drop it there and leave. I'm like,
I lay my egg and I'm out of there.
Yeah, there you go. Have a nice day. Yeah, remember me now. It's true. But we grew up in that environment. Like,
yeah,
farting, fart talk, poop talk, like that was all a source of humor.
Well, even at the dinner table.
Even at the dinner, every holiday meal. Classic stuff. But I think it's hilarious, and I think there's always an opportunity for laughter. Maybe if you're sick and in an emergent situation to get to a restroom, that's obviously never fun. But if it's just a normal day and you just got to let one go, I mean, think about the power that you have in that toot and how it could impact the world, where you release it and how you release it.
Yeah.
I do think about these things. I check my 6 and 3, right? And my 12, and I'm like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And then, but sometimes in the bathroom, and you're peeing, it's like, who brought a cow in the bathroom? Oh my God.
But, every single time you do every single time you do fart, be grateful that your gut is alive and working. Seriously, because in the hospital, like I said earlier, if people are not farting, that means things aren't working, and that's not good. So The gut is like a second brain. The intestinal tract is a second brain. So if you're tooting away, as long as it's normal kind of toots, be grateful. Your gut's alive and working and you're feeding it well. You want those little bacteria to stay active, and the gut is full of immune tissue. It is a source of immunity, a huge source of immunity for the body. So you want to keep your gut working. So farting's a good thing. It's a good thing. Just pick your moments if you can. So
it's like belching out your butt.
Right.
If I can say that.
Yeah.
I don't know. Did we teach anybody anything today, or are we just fucking laughing about farting?
Well, sometimes I think there was some learning in there along the way. I mean, we provided some facts and whatnot, but sometimes you want to listen to a podcast and not learn a damn thing. You just want to laugh your ass off and have a good time, and hopefully that'll do it for you today.
For a good time, call Whiskey Chicks.
So, since this was a totally non-learning episode today, there will be no homework. It's a holiday weekend. It's a non-learning episode. So, no homework.
You're not going to even be like, the next time you fart, just assess your situation.
I think a lot of people do, but by the same token, you don't want to hold it in either. So try to find a way to let it out.
Holding it in makes it worse.
Totally.
And you don't want to do that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's end it there. Hopefully, if you made it to the end of this podcast episode, then you really do like us. Maybe I don't know. It's a crapshoot either way. The whole reason for having a podcast is because we can talk about whatever we want. So, la-di-da. There you go. Anywho's, we want to thank you all for being with us today, and we'll try to be better about making episodes more frequently. Hopefully, we'll get into a rhythm here.
We always say that.
We do. I know. And we don't deliver. We're all talk and no movement, no delivery.
We're a bunch of hot air.
Yeah. We're just talking out our butts. There you go. All right. Anyway, we know what old Nana would say.
Be true to yourself.